And welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I am Eric Halsey.
I am Alex Midway, and we are kind of breaking the norm here, recording on a Sunday, God's Day, because Thursday, your boy didn't have any power.
Yeah, it was, we've been ravaged by storms here, which I'm assuming God's punishing us. It's definitely not climate change.
Yeah, I was getting ravaged by a whole lot of tariffs and all kinds of people losing their jobs. Now God even hates me, so, at least it's a trifecta. We get it all at the same time.
Well, luckily the weather is matching the political climate, so.
Yeah. So, one thing that actually has been bothering me for a bit is how it's the same, it's the meme, thanks, Obama. Everyone's blaming Biden for everything now, and it is hilarious to a certain point. There's this one article right here. It's on CNN. As Trump shatters ethic norms with a Qatari jet and a $499 smartphone, more on that later, experts lament Biden's failure to pass reforms. So the fact that he's doing all this shady stuff is Biden's fault because he didn't set up guardrails.
Yeah, we are 1,000,000% going to win the next Olympics. Just gold straight down the board for mental gymnastics. How you can go through and blame Biden for all of this. We'll pin in that. I'll come back to that one when we get to our new war. But
do you think the current debate team in high schools is just you never admit you're wrong and you just tell the other team that they're losers and you make up funny names for them? That's how we negotiate now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just come up with a childish name to call you, and we'll deflect all the things we've did by blaming you.
It's your fault I'm able to do this. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like if you walked over, kicked somebody's dog, and then been like, if you had gotten that thing away from my foot, so really it's your fault. I guess.
You just get done bashing your wife and be like, look at what you're making me do. No, dude, those are your fists.
All I know is when I watched Idiocracy, at least the morons looked like they were having fun. Our current morons just seem mad all the time.
Should we try the red hat on the head? Maybe it has some healing properties.
I don't know. It definitely makes you immune from blame.
Well,
and it gets you disinvited from Thanksgiving with your family. So.
Unless your entire family's in it. I mean, we could always do two hats.
Well, I hope they enjoy their mayonnaise-based fruit salads or whatever those monsters eat.
Nothing spicy. Dial it back on the sugar, Karen.
Ooh, see, someone got the spicy ketchup.
Is this salt? How many pinches did you use?
Oh, it's a culinary wasteland in the Midwest.
So Tesla ticker, it was 316 on Tuesday. It's 322. Really hasn't done anything. But there's either going to be a large jump or it's going to be a large drop come Monday morning because they are doing the autonomous driving finally today in Texas. And the way that they're doing it is geofenced in a very small area. So he's kind of made it so it doesn't fail because SpaceX just lost another rocket last week. So he's not trying to have his little Model Ys just start crashing into each other like it's bumper cars.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're going to trust autonomous driving with the guy who's just blowing up rockets left and right. But do you have a feeling this is going to be one of those Sergeant Bilko deals where somebody's just remote controlling it in his little area and claiming it just being autonomous?
Yeah, the Theranos treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a little RC rally going on.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the blowing up rockets, if you're doing space engines and you're trying to go to Mars, I get it. You're going to have some failures. But what made this rocket blast so spectacular is the fact that he had extra fuel just chilling on the platform. And I don't know, man. I try to get flammable things away from my oven when I'm cooking. So when I'm launching a rocket, I probably wouldn't store jet fuel next to it.
Tinfoil hat on. Do you think this explosion was on purpose to take our attention away from anything else?
There's a lot of everything else. So why don't we just go ahead and jump forward to that?
Before we do, did I send you over that skit from the Whitest Kids You Know, where it's the White House press secretary making stuff
Like,
up?
we're invading Iran today, aren't we? He's like, yep,
Yeah.
you got me.
All right, we're gonna have to add that onto our that clip onto our podcast notes at the end for you to go check on. Hilarious and relevant as can be.
Straight in the show notes, Whitest Kids You Know, one of the greatest shows of all time. Hilarious.
Yes, Space Bears.
Yeah. So, Ukraine. A lot of things has happened about Ukraine. So the U.S. has actually been in the process of dialing back support for Ukraine. I mean, they pulled out any kind of intelligence support that they've been doing. They actually, with the whole Israel thing, Hegseth confirmed that they moved a bunch of the Patriot systems out of the area. And they've been cutting back payments. Well, actually, materials that were promised under the previous administration, they've actually went ahead and stopped sending that over. And meanwhile, Ukraine is still knocking out 10% of Russia's oil refineries using nothing but DJI drones from Temu. And apparently this is not going well because they have finally came out and admitted and said, yeah, man, the U.S. has told us to stop targeting the actual Russian oil refineries. And I don't know, man, when you're waging a war, you kind of need oil to keep a war machine going room, and you kind of need oil to keep selling to build other things. So telling them not to shoot at that, it's kind of like, hey, man, why don't you tie this hand behind your back and then go fight that ogre?
Yeah, it's pretty ballsy to pull like artillery that we gave them from them and then go, also, can you please not target these areas of the guys that are just been bombing the heck out of you for the past 3 years? Like, it's like when you have one of those neighbors who just asks for ridiculous things. Like, can you turn the music down? I know it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon on a Friday. You're like, no, like you are overstepping right now.
Here's a bug spray, but I can't have you using it on the bugs in the backyard. Like, why the F did you give this to me? Like, I just wanted to be a good neighbor. Like, just don't mess up that mosquito population. But here's the stuff to kill the mosquito population.
Yeah, I'm going to ask for the thing I gave you back, and also just let the bugs have their way with your yard.
And what makes it really good is when the bugs come out and they say, all of your house belongs to us, because that is exactly what Putin has come out and said. He's like, all of Ukraine, it's technically, it's Russia. So the man is not looking for effing peace. Can we stop trying to press to that angle? Like, this is dumb.
All right, well, hold on. Are you telling me that we can't trust Putin when he said he just wanted one little area of Ukraine, which then turned to 4, which then turned to the whole country, like we all said was going to happen?
I mean, technically, all of Ukraine is one area, so he's consolidating. He's narrowed it down. Instead of 4 different regions, he just now wants one country.
It's like how Germany famously stopped at Poland.
Yeah. Like, it's cool. Just this part right here. We'll split it with someone, too. Half and half.
You think there's a Russian Luigi out there?
Oh, God, he needs to be. He needs to just avoid every open elevator shaft and just get to his goal.
Just once. So, just do us the favor, guys.
Yeah. So right now, let's do one big bill update. We should probably be doing this one, and in the show notes, I have it on here, but we should probably talk about a possible Iran-Israel surprise war coming. But yeah, that's already happened, so we'll get into that one. But let's do a quick one big beautiful bill update, because while they're pulling your Medicare, and they're trying to pass tax breaks for the billionaires.
Well, they famously trickle down. That's how our economy works. We have 40 years of data showing them only trickling down.
Yeah. So the repeal of tax breaks on, quote, intangible assets, end quote, for sports teams, which passed the House and means that certain owners could no longer deduct expenses like player contracts and media rights. The change, which could raise $1 billion for a bill that heavily supports deficits, heavily increases deficit spending, and doesn't have not enough offsets as it is, wouldn't apply to current owners, only future ones. And that's one of a few parts of a bill that is popular with voters. So essentially, the part that passed in the House, it means that the current tax break, where the owners can go ahead, I don't know why this works, but for tax deduction, kind of like you buying a house, they can say they can deduct how much they pay to their running back, which makes no sense to me. But Trump infamously wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills back in the day, and he got shut out. And now he's not a big fan of NFL owners, so that's another reason why he's pushing his bill, because that was one club that did not let him in.
So, but this whole increasing the like what they can write off, that's not going to affect anybody currently. It's just if you buy a team in the future.
Yeah, that's the wildest thing. It's like none of these guys that would be affected by it, they would be grandfathered in. They're fine. They can keep writing off salaries and anything else and just keep having all these yachts. But they're like, nah, man, we need to protect the future owners.
That's...
And how are we going to protect these future owners? With your Medicare dollars. Let's do this.
Well, I'm glad it makes sense to me. I'm glad we both agree the system is definitely not rigged.
It's wild. It's like they don't need any more money. It's like we were talking before the show, like subsidizing like oil companies. Like they don't need any more subsidies. Like at a certain point when you're on your feet, you should be fine. We keep talking all this time about like, well, if you're unemployed, you need to be out there doing things so you can get reemployed. Like, cool, I get it. Now let's apply the same thing to government subsidies. Once you're posting billion-dollar profits, can we just get rid of some of these extra subsidies? Like, you don't need them anymore, man. You're doing just fine in life.
Yeah. Why is it that if I lose my job and jump on unemployment, editor's note, that is still a thing as we record right now. But why is it that once I then get a job and start making money, I can't just keep this government subsidy of unemployment? Why can't I keep that extra check going?
Yeah. Like some people.
Because I'm poor and I'm not trickling anything down, right?
You don't have a sweet, sweet lobby money. Now that we're talking about billionaires, one man who's gotten silly rich ever since he got into office is big old Trumpy. And last week we were talking about the visas, and this week we're talking about a full-on mobile network. On the bright side, at least this one doesn't have a .gov number at the back end of it.
Yeah.
And while the Donald has said he's stepping away from his businesses so that there's zero conflict of interest, but I mean, a 40 milli plane, cryptocurrency website, and a completely above-board phone company kind of makes you think twice about it. No one's buying these things because Eric and Donald Jr. are at the helm of this. Like, no one's like, you know what? That's what we're getting. The two guys from Step Brothers and Bose and Hose vibes. Like, that's why I want the actual phone. And the fact that it's related to Big Daddy is the monthly plan is $47.45, which is clearly a nod to the presidency numbers for Trump. And if they could somehow make it so it's spelled out rigged election, they would make it that price, but they can't. So it's $47.45.
And just to be clear, that's Step Brothers without the charm.
Yeah. Timu Step Brothers.
Yikes. Yeah, and I'm assuming this phone is made in America because America first?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. They're like, yeah, man, this thing's going to be 100% American. And in September. So I don't know if Eric and Donald Jr. have awesome construction skills and are somehow going to build a factory in the States between now and September. It doesn't make any sense. So the whole reason, it's not just a factory you need to set up. The reason that a lot of this stuff can't be made in America is because all the raw materials to come into it. When all the factories are set up in China, the supply chain is made so that all of these materials go to China. I mean, you need the stuff. You can't have rare earth metals and everything else be all in China, and now you have a factory here. You still can't make the phone.
Hey, on the off chance, so they have prototypes of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be made in America. And if you follow logic, that means they are currently not being made in America. But also, since all these raw materials have to come from China, assuming these things will be made in America like they promised, because if you could ever trust a family's promise, it's the Trumps. What do you think the chances are these are going to be tariff exempt?
1,000,000%.
Oh, I'm just kidding. They wouldn't do that because these phones won't be made in America at all. But they're definitely going to get that exemption.
I think they even walked it back. I think they said they will eventually be made. And I don't know, man. Trump has had all those Trump ties for sale, and them bad boys been still being made in China. They might have moved it to like Vietnam, but they're definitely not made by American factory labor.
No, and honestly, I don't even trust that the Trump steak company that went out of business immediately. Something tells me that beef was coming out of country too.
That beef was straight horses that were headed to the glue factory.
Do you think, and a little off subject, do you think the MAGA supporters are just 100% like, no, it doesn't have to make sense. They're going to do this in America. This is for us. Do you think they really believe it?
I don't think they study enough on how global economics work. They're like, yeah, man, I should always be able to get a banana in America because banana growing season is every day of the year. Like, you're an idiot. If you don't think like the fact that you can get all these fruits off season is the result of a global trade economy, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, just because you have a trade deficit with one country doesn't mean they're taking advantage of you. That country specializes in one thing. Just like we specialize in screwing over the pores, that is our number one export. China does tchotchkes. Like, easy way to remember.
Well, in their defense, your fruit example is pretty dumb because Monster Energy doesn't use real fruit in their breakfast blends.
They don't have that contains 2% real juice.
No. No.
It's 10% real amphetamines.
And even if they did, it's canceled out by that Marlboro Red.
It's a combination. So let's get into the phone a little bit now that we kind of went off kilter there. And the spec section is where it's supposed to shine. These specs, they're either good or they're not. So the first thing that they have on their website, and this is straight off the Trump mobile website, is processor and RAM. And then it says storage, 12 gigs of RAM. Now, it's missing a processor, and RAM is technically not supposed to be listed as storage. More on that one later. 12 gigs of RAM actually sounds pretty good because the iPhone 17 is getting 12 gigs of RAM. But leaving off a processor is like saying we have this brand new car and the fuel tank can hold 17 gallons. Like, cool. What's the engine like? Yeah, don't worry about that part.
I get it. I love
it. So that's breaking it down. So moving on to the memory side. And it says internal storage, 256 gigs. Well, if you remember just a second ago, they had storage listed at 12 gigs of RAM. That's what storage is. And this part right here, although it's kind of semantics, but under memory, that's where you talk about RAM. Because the M in RAM stands for memory. It's random access memory. And any kid in the stem cell class could have told you that, but I don't even know if we're teaching that, and I don't even know if I have an advisor like that on the Trump board. So that could be a little mess up there.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't trust anything with our education system anymore. So.
Well, if
there's
you
no
can
chance
trust,
we're funding STEM.
Yeah, don't need that. If you can trust one thing, you can trust the security. The in-screen fingerprint sensor and AI face unlock. So, in a nutshell, the fingerprint sensor is good because you can have that. But an AI face unlock, if you dig a little bit more into that, What that says is that your face every time will then they take a picture of it and they will send it to AI off the phone to make sure it verifies that it is your face. So the same people who were mad when U2 released an album and gave everyone a free album on your Google Drive or iCloud are now the same people who are just fine with pictures of your face every time you open your phone being sent to an AI place to data harvest you. Like, when they first did the whole face unlock thing with the iPhone, they had to prove repeatedly that this thing is just going to be on the phone. And the Trump phone's like, nah, we're harvesting your info, baby.
Do you think it's just people got so used to face unlock over the past, 5 years, that now they're just like, it's fine, it's probably out there? Because I remember Apple being like, no, this is just unlock. This is not using AI. This is just unlocking. Yeah. And these guys are now just like, yeah, no, we are 100% sending this AI.
I mean, it's very different people. Like, the people who are going to buy the Trump phone would be glad to be able to use their social security card and the back of their credit card to unlock their phone every time. Like, this is going straight to Donald. Yeah, like, I hope so. Like, here's my wife's nudes. Like, they will let this man have anything they have. And I don't think they care if it goes to AI. Like, yeah, this guy's just going to take care of us. He's going to make America great again. Yeah, like, what has he really done? But I digress.
They secretly just do a little prayer to Palantir every time they look at their phone to unlock it.
Yeah. Please, Lord Palantir, don't kill me.
I like big government watching me.
Well, to watch things, you need a camera. And the specs of this thing is, it's 50 megapixels for the main one, but there's 2 other sensors on there. And if it's 50 megapixels for your main, your depth sensor is 2 megapixels, and that's the one that you it's for augmented reality and stuff like that to get depth perception for the phone. And there's a macro lens as well. And when you go from 50 megapixels for main, and then you drop off to 2 and 2, just for the sake of the argument, a 2 megapixel depth sensor was first released on the Samsung S10 back in 2019. So that's 6-year-old technology. And the iPhone 16 has a 48 megapixel macro lens. So while the main camera they say is going to be good, and I'll be amazed if it's actually 50 megapixels, all the other stuff is not so much. So just in summary, this phone is marketed by Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but somehow it's still going to make about half the countries buy it because they sworn fealty to the place. The spec sheet itself is laughable, and even if it's not an exaggeration, but
it's 100% an exaggeration. This whole family is built on. Nobody's going to check. Just say it.
Yeah,
not a doubt in my mind. Also, I'm very interested to see how many of these phones actually get sold. How many of these people are like, yeah, I'm going to get away from iPhone.
Yeah. So one guy actually did try to already order one. And that's already started. There's a whole story about it. So on the Trump Mobile website, he went on there. He's a reporter. And he's like, I got to find out what the hell this thing's about. So it's like, hey, with $100 deposit, you can guarantee yourself a Trump phone, a T1 when it ships. He's like, all right, cool. Here's $100 and submit. Well, the website crashes. His credit card gets billed $64.70, which is nowhere close to $100. And then he gets a shipping confirmation. Keep in mind, the phone is apparently not going to be sold until September, but he already had a shipping confirmation. And what made this conversation even crazier is the fact that he never left a shipping address with the company. So that should tell you how smooth of a machine this is.
I mean, it sounds right so far. From the geniuses at Trump University, we're giving you a new phone.
Yeah. Well, the geniuses at Trump University also apparently used old communist maps that had the Gulf of Mexico, listed as Gulf of Mexico, whereas we all know it is now the Gulf of America. So that coverage map on their website has been pulled down real quick, and I'm sure both Donald Jr. and Eric got a big old yelling.
You know, it's hard to imagine the strife Donnie's feeling right now when both of his kids, for the first time ever, disappoint him.
Yeah. He hung out with the army just to get away from him.
Yikes.
So, one thing I do want to talk about is the little thing on their website as far as their AI systems. And this is verbatim what this is. I'm just going to read that off. Our AI system collects data that you provide directly or indirectly through your interactions with the Trump mobile services. The data collected may include, but is not limited to, usage data, such as the pages you visit, the links you click on, the searches you do on your platform. So any search, they are data harvesting that. Like, God help you if you go on Hillary 2028 website, you're going to get blackballed real quick. Device and connection information, including your IP address, browser type, language, cookies that identify your browser account. Location info determined through data such as your IP address or GPS. So they're harvesting everything that you look at and everywhere that you go. And for some reason, this is not going to be a deal breaker for anyone buying this phone.
I feel like that's one of those things that you can like clearly say I'm being treaded on.
Yeah. Like the people who launch everything in an incognito window and don't want to hand out their phone information at the doctor's office because of HIPAA laws. Yeah, but they're fine with this one.
Well, we trust him.
But apparently not everybody trusts what's going on because Daddy Trump is fighting with Comrade Carlson. And Tucker Carlson went online and started asking whether deploying troops to the Israel-Iran conflict is a great way to honor the America First policy of, isolationism. And that did not go over well. Even though the question does make sense. If you come out and you say that, hey, we're going to put everything towards America, we're pulling out of NATO, we're pulling out of everything, but we're also going to help out our boys in Israel. It goes kind of backwards, and the king was not happy because there was a lot of all caps. Someone please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that, and this next part is all caps, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And then to finish it off, to tell you that he's serious, make America great again. And that was the ending.
It's fun that Iran actually agreed to not have nuclear weapons. And then Trump's first term came in and he abolished that deal. Yeah. Why? Was it a bad deal? No. But the black guy made it.
I hate all things Obama. Get rid of it.
Oh, I love it. We're going to war because Obama was better liked than Trump.
He's like, this was the dumbest deal of all time. Like, bro, you made it. Like, uh-oh. No, I didn't. We're like, oh, okay, well, fair enough. No fact checking on that one.
I know. I'll call him kooky, and everyone will forget this is my fault.
And which is wild right now because it's like a plot twist in our little wonderful life that M. Night Shyamalan would be kind of striving towards. Because someone came out, Trump attacking Tucker Carlson for not supporting a new world war is not something any sane person should support. This stuff is not what nightmares are made of. And this was said by Alex Jones, who would love to drink Trump's bathwater, but the fact that he just is talking smack is wild.
Yeah, I've been doing a little deep diving this morning online because, nothing's more beautiful than you waking up, getting a nice cup of coffee, open up your shades, seeing the sun, and then just watching every worst person in the world trash each other. Trying to figure out which one you want to put your support behind.
I mean, if there was ever a time for mutually assured destruction, it's been the MAGA universe because our girl Marjorie Taylor Greene also piled on. Anyone slobbering for the U.S. to become fully involved in the Israel-Iran war is not an America First / MAGA. Wishing for murder of innocent people is disgusting. I don't know, Marjorie. I feel like you've been wishing for a lot of innocent people to die, but the fact that she went against Donald Trump is super surprising.
Yeah, my head still really hurts. And this might be the worst thing this administration's done, where I never thought there'd be a day where I'm like, well, Tucker Carlson brings up some good points here. This Now you have me agreeing with Large Marge.
Yeah.
It's not on my bingo card, man.
No, it's like it's insane. And the fact, like they're cannibalizing themselves because apparently Ted Cruz went on with Tucker Carlson, and I never thought I'd say this in a million years, but I kind of agreed with Tucker Carlson on this one because they're having this conversation, and Ted Cruz has been talking some things about possibly invading Iran, kind of backing it up. In full disclosure, he said the current situation right now did not warrant boots on the ground, but he said, yeah, I can see it. And I'm sure that's when Trump says, hey, we need boots on the ground. Like, yeah, I can see it. But Tucker was like, hey, man, this country you're calling for an invasion of, like, how many people live there? And Tucker's like, Ted Cruz like, I don't know. You don't need to know that. And Tucker kind of makes a pretty good point. If you're going to be calling for the invasion of a place, you should probably just know the amount of million people that are there. And it is their favorite number. It's 88. So it would be an easy one to remember.
Yeah. Wait, it's really hard to fathom that, like, we can go so gung-ho on a world war, and then the people that are supposedly have to, like, sign off on doing it just have zero clue about the country we're about to go attack. That'd be like, I'm gonna go fight my neighbor. Like, why? Like, I don't know. He might have a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know. And they're like, well, do you think he's armed? Do you think he has a dog or anything? He's like, we'll see when we get there. I don't know.
He's getting close. Like, you've been saying this for 20 years. Like, yeah, but it's for real this time. Like, and I've actually been focusing on buying a lot of stock to actually raise my portfolio price rather than figure out how many people we're going to murder in this country.
Yeah. It's not cold right now, so I'll be staying in the U.S. instead of effing off over to Cancun while all my constituents die. But yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. How about a generator so I can stay here next time a power in his power grid goes out because we went ahead and privatized it, and then surprise, surprise, the power companies don't want to do any kind of maintenance, but I don't know, blame a windmill.
Yeah, and I understand the rationale. As you know, I'm not a planner. I'm a very like, we'll figure it out once we get there. This is why I'm not in a seat of power. Like, know thyself. But the fact that he's just like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'll have an assistant Wikipedia this for me.
You start selling yourself short because the credentials that you need to have to be in a seat of power is just to be a shill. And as long as you can parrot whatever the president's saying, you too can be a senator.
The scary part is, he was given the opportunity to just be like, just make up an answer and go, well, I was told we're not fact checking, Tucker.
Yeah. Like, so we're not doing it.
Maybe Ted Cruz is just the most useless pile of horse crap. Yeah. I don't know.
That actually reminds me of the Palantir book on Peter Thiel I was reading. Because Peter Thiel backed Ted Cruz. So that should tell you that man knows how to pick a horse.
You talking about his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, so no, I'm sorry. That was dog. My bad.
Yeah, my dog. What else has been happening there? Anything going on in the world?
No, everything else is doing pretty well. Except for the whole political assassinations in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, tragedy struck early Saturday morning when Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette miraculously survived a crazed gunman when they were attacked and shot multiple times in their home. Less lucky was Minnesota House Representative Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, as the same gunman allegedly shot and killed them along with their family dog Gilbert.
Do we know what kind of dog Gilbert is?
It looked like a golden retriever. May have been a mix.
But it wasn't like a German Shepherd. It wasn't like a pit bull. It wasn't like a threat. This thing probably came up and licked them.
It was a rescue, and so it was. They originally brought it in to help train it for what's it called? To be a service dog, and the family was very excited when it failed and couldn't get his certificate for service dog because they had fallen in love with it so much, and they were hoping it would fail to become their family dog.
Typical communists.
Yeah. Just to end up shot and having to be put down after the attack.
Jesus.
So about 36 hours later, police arrested Vance Bolter on Sunday night after just under a 2-day manhunt. So this guy, police allege, and I'm using air quotes here, Bolter equipped his SUV with law enforcement style emergency lights while wearing tactical vest, body armor, and a rubber mask to impersonate a police officer in order to get close enough to attack his victims. You know, kind of like these ICE imposters are doing.
It was a pretty legit looking rubber mask, though. I saw a couple pictures of it. I mean, we're not talking Mission Impossible, but it breaks up the outline enough to know that that's not the crazy guy, just some random person in the face.
From what I could tell, it made him look like Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Couldn't spring for a wig.
So, along with guns and ammo, police also recovered a notebook with more than 45 state and federal employee names written into it. So, clearly a hit list.
Yeah.
So, Bolter also went to a couple other homes before he got to the two that he actually attacked. Just nobody answered the door. So he's like, I guess we'll just go to the next name on the list.
It's wild. And I hate the fact that it has to be, they allege that he equipped his SUV. Like, bro, if they catch you in the SUV and it's got the police lights and everything else, like, that's a statement of fact at that point. Like, we shouldn't have to dance on eggshells and be like, he allegedly shot these two people. Like, if they got it on camera, he shot those two people.
Yeah, because everybody has a Ring camera now.
Mm-hmm.
Which they release footage of. The other thing, so we haven't seen pictures of them yet, or at least I haven't. You gotta think, impersonating a police officer gets you the same treatment and at like their jail as like being a child molester in prison, right? Yeah. Like that, it's got to be the cops like the biggest thing to irritate them.
It can't be the same as a kid diddler, but one step down.
But I mean, it's similar. Like if somebody showed up, you know, like arrested for having a fake badge and pretending to be a cop, like, you know, those cops just go off on them, right?
Yeah. Only we can wear a Punisher skulls.
Only our line is thin and blue.
Yeah.
So, you know what? This could be a big misunderstanding. We don't know. They got Bolter's phone and realized he texted his family after the shooting saying, quote, Dad went to war last night. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to implicate anybody, end quote.
I do love his sheepdog attitude. Like, it's the one dream, like, I'm going to defend this country. I'm going to go shoot up innocent people who aren't defending themselves. Like, you didn't go to war, you stupid idiot. It's the same thing with these kids, like, shooting up schools.
Like, realize your life's dream of trying murder.
I go against people who don't know I'm coming. Like, once you get dropped off in, like, Afghanistan with a giant American flag t-shirt and then go wander, like, the outskirts of Kandahar if you really want to go to war. Be like, USA all the way. Like, you're going to get some homies that shoot back. Like, he's out here knocking on people's doors at 12 o'clock at night pretending he's a cop so he could shoot them while they're unarmed. Like, that's not war. That's Blackwater type stuff.
So, police also found Bolter's wife, Jenny. They found her, and when they searched her car, they found $10K in cash and every one of their family members' passports for him, his wife, and all 5 of their kids. Oh, and 2 handguns.
I do love it. Well, first of all, I need to unwrap that real quick. 2 handguns. If you're going to be fleeing the country, like, first of all, what are you going to do? Put it in a suitcase and hope it gets past customs?
Yeah, right?
And also, how many people are in that family?
It's a total of 7, including Bolter.
Cool. How long do you think 10K gets you when you're living overseas and all your bank accounts are frozen? It reminds me of the whole thing, like, what's the price of a banana? Like, I don't know, $56? Like, but in the opposite direction, like, we could live in Mexico and 17 cents a day, like, for 7 of us. Like, 10 grand's not enough.
No, and I'm assuming that's just so they can get untrackable flights, because that's how airports work now.
They just start walking into a bunch of vacuum repair shops and saying the lines from Breaking Bad. Hopefully someone will get them going out of there.
Yeah, just smuggle us into Canada with a truck.
You know, you can just cross there, right? He's like, no. He's like, I need you, the vacuum repair guy, to take care of it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm here to fix the Dyson.
Come on, dude. Lalo's coming after us.
Yeah. People suck.
So, just to be a little nonpartisan here, once reportings of the shootings reached the internet, immediately conspiracy theories everywhere, as Bolter was appointed by Tim Walz to a nonpartisan development board in 2019. So right off the bat, all the right was like, no, this was a Democrat. This is what happens when they don't get their way. They're evil. They're violent. Blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't just, the standard drooling monkeys out there, slamming their fists into their phones over on the MAGA side. This also went all the way to Republican Senator of Utah, Mike Lee, who blasted Tim Walz and Democrats, saying this is what happens when Marxists don't get their way. The party of compassion.
Yeah.
When it was later revealed that the appointment Walz, quote, gave, quote, unquote, Bolter was a continuance from an appointment from the previous administration before Walz was even there, surprise, the fake cop guy was a Trump supporter and confirmed by all of his friends.
Like, I do like the whole thing. It's like, you know what? He was a Democrat. Like, cool. Why don't we go down the list and you show me one Republican senator on that list? Like, not a one. Like, you're telling me Tim Walz, the guy who's like a high school coach and fought to get kids a school lunch, is also in his spare time recruiting people to kill fellow Democrats? Like, that's a big stretch, man.
It's because you'd never expect him.
Yeah. I was on Twitter the other day, and Grok is like the AI that the right is now screaming is way too woke, because every time like they try to fact check like the left, they're like, "Hey Grok, who is the most violent as far as killing things?" And Grok was like, "Hey man, most of the people doing the killing are far right." And then afterwards, the guy put it up like completely disappeared from Twitter. He's like, "Damn it."
But just in the interest of fairness, I'm not letting the left off the hook either. I also saw a ton of backlash over Bolter's second-degree murder charge, with people blaming Trump's DOJ for letting him off easy, sending out a clear message of leniency to other nut jobs with a cop fetish. This also turns out to be BS, because with 3 minutes of Googling, I found Minnesota cannot charge a person with first-degree murder until after a grand jury indictment, which hopefully should be Monday.
Well, if it really wanted to send a message home, they would have given him a passport that says Mexican and just send him off to Guatemala.
Give him one of those Trump cards that just lets him go to any country.
Yeah. Give him $5 million.
So, anyways, this guy seems to be a monster. It seems like they've got him, completely dead to rights. I'm hoping his wife also ends up getting some pretty good charges because of the handguns and cash and everything. And I can't wait to report next month when he gets pardoned before this ever goes to trial.
Yeah. They both walk and speak at CPAC in 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to auction off those guns that they found in his wife's car like it was Kyle Rittenhouse's AR.
Go on tour of George Zimmerman.
Oh, just the hemorrhoid of the body of America.
Christ. All right, well, we ran a little bit late, and today we were definitely doing quantity, not quality. So apologies to anyone who sat through this 45 minutes of drivel that we put out. Apparently, we should not be working on God's day. I am Alex Midway.
And I'm Eric Halsey.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.